LOL.
Hey.
Zinger right there.
I like this. I'm just gonna do that.
Yeah.
Great.
So your two characters are friends. Are we going to learn how that friendship started developing, or are they just going to jump into it?
I think we jump into it.
We jump into it.
Yeah.
We're right in the fray of things.
Yeah,
we
we jump
don't.
into
Yeah.
it.
We don't. I feel like Bow and Glimmer, their relationship is definitely established from the beginning of the show, just based off of where they are at the time, because I feel like it's remained constant. They've never left each other's sides. They've always been homies. And then you also see how Adora fits into the picture and how that friendship, I feel like that's really where you get to see the development and the building of character and friendship when it comes to that trio.
Yeah, I think Bow and Glimmer's friendship, reminds me of my friends and I, the friends that I have since I was, 5 years old.
Mm-hmm.
People that you can say anything to and do. You can be in your PJs at home, no makeup, just looking ugly, but you don't care because the friendship is based off of how well you know each other from day one. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
We got a good thing
Solid
going.
one.
Got a good thing going.
You said Bo is going to be focusing on like something like tech. What kind of tech that he's going to be doing? Like vehicles, or mostly like something with arrows?
Throughout the show, it's definitely it builds. At the beginning, Bo is definitely more focused on his tracker pad, which is kind of this instrument that they use to find artifacts that I don't want to go too much into, but things of power that Bo can only find with his tracker pad. As the show develops, you also get different arrow types. I don't know if any of you guys played Injustice 2, but it's kind of like green arrows, like, I don't know, fire arrows. It's besides the point. But Bo really, like, his arrow types are kind of how he develops as a character, and throughout the show he kind of just creates a bunch of funky different types. Like I think you saw Net One in the snippet that we showed, and there's just some really cool stuff that he creates. He also shares that role with Entrapta, being that they're both like techies. He's a huge fan. One of his idols is Entrapta. Top two probably Entrapta and Seahawk. So those two together are just like two creative minds, and they bounce off of each other and kind of work it out that way. Yeah.
So in the panel, we found out that Bo has two dads. Can you tell us a little bit about how that's represented in the show?
I think it's definitely She-Ra's mission to reflect and represent reality. And I think two dads is not an uncommon thing in this world, and it should be celebrated. And so we're doing so on She-Ra. Don't want to expand too much on that. Obviously, you guys got a little bit of a spoiler / teaser situation. Exclusive to New York Comic Con, but yeah.
Yeah, I think it's important to represent everyday people, and two dads is something that isn't seen so much on television.
Yeah.
It's not a common thing that we see, and I love that you said we celebrate it, because we definitely do. Yeah, it's very diverse.
She-Ra doesn't try to shy away from what's actually out there.
Especially in animation,
Yeah,
exactly.
It's not super.
Do you feel like there's a difference between, like, because you guys are on Netflix compared to like a network show, like or cable, like Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon type?
I think it's definitely a better question for Noel, but I feel like from what I've seen, from what we've been able to do with the show, I think there's definitely more creative liberties and more creative freedoms that you can take with a subscription-based service like Netflix, obviously, who doesn't have as many boundaries with product placement and things like that, and advertisers. So there is definitely a certain room for liberty and freedom that we have, but I feel like we're just definitely just tackling issues that are really just going on out there. So it's nothing like new, and like it's revolutionary for it to be in an animation, but it's something that should have happened a long time ago. So.
Bouncing off the question about Bo's father, from what we heard of Glimmer's mother, she seems like a pretty impressive and intimidating woman. He looms large, and her daughter has a bit of a contentious relationship with her. Are we going to be seeing her on screen during the
Oh, absolutely. Queen Angela will be there in full force. Some of my favorite scenes are with Queen Angela, just because we clash so much, even though we love each other. We have the unconditional love of a mother and a a daughter. But I think Glimmer's going through a phase in her life where she wants to be, her own person, and she wants to prove herself to her mother and to everybody else. And so, you'll definitely see Queen Angela, and you'll see her. It's just a lot of fun playing that side of myself that I lost since my teenage years. When you fight with your mom and you're like, Mom, why can't you understand me?
That dynamic of the warrior queen who doesn't want maybe her daughter to be in the thick of the battle.
Yes.
That was really interesting. One of my favorite part of the clips.
Yeah, definitely. Mine too.
Did you guys watch the original series before you got these parts?
I watched a couple of the first few episodes, and
I watched a few clips of Bow to kind of, I was like,
it's really different.
Yeah, I was like, I want to get into the mindset of the character, right? So I watched the original. I was like, oh, this is probably totally different, but because old Bow's like, She-Ra, we need to save everyone, and I was like, all right, that's probably not me, but it's all good. I think we definitely pay homage to the classic characters. All of our characters in our show are based off of characters that were in the original She-Ra, and we're not shying away from that content, but at the same time, changing it up. I mean, why would we be making a new show if we didn't change it up? So.
What do you want fans to, kind of get out of this version of She-Ra? Like, what are you most excited for when this premieres? And do you want people to binge it?
Hell yeah! I'm gonna binge it. We're gonna binge it. Yeah, I mean, I'm so excited for, I said this in the panel as well, but just for little girls to grow up with it and to look up to some of the characters or connect with some of them more than others. We have a diverse cast, a lot of ethnicities, a lot of different shapes and sizes. So I think the show is about inclusivity, and it'll be exciting to see how people connect with each individual character.
Agreed.
And it was so interesting, like 1+1, they're showing all the princesses kind of working together and kind of, like doing their thing, trying to rescue Bow. And I feel like it's something I haven't always seen, seeing that many female characters. Not even addressing that at all. It's just they're princesses and they're kicking butt. And is that something you would ever experience before doing something like this, or like seeing a story like that?
Yeah, I think we live in a time right now where women are supporting one another more than ever, and I love that the show portrays that. And of course we have Bow in there, but being in my 20s, I'm finally realizing the power of supporting your friends, supporting one another, and teamwork, and only good things can come out of supporting one another. So, yeah.
Awesome. I think we just got the wrap up. So I think we have like one more question.
I want to know more about Glimmer. Like, what's her struggle towards friendship? Like, towards like the entire series.
Yeah, Glimmer struggles with fitting in. I think that she, like any human being, she struggles with connecting with her friends, and sometimes she thinks she's doing the right thing, even if it's not the right thing. I think Glimmer struggles with listening, listening to you, but he's always there to support. So throughout the show, you'll see her development and her growth, learning how to be a good friend. Yeah.
This is not related to She-Ra, but any insight on the upcoming season of Blackish?
Yeah, we've got an exciting season. Sorry, my mind was totally in a different space, but we've got a cool season coming up for that as well. Kind of here just to promote She-Ra and stuff, but thank you for the question. It's going to be a dope season. Junior's going to college, so yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
everyone.
Yeah.